say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to the third round in the AWRCS series of 2022. This is my first race of the season, and I'm excited to be here. We are in Seven Springs, Pennsylvania, at the top of a mountain. This is a ski resort, and it's a 10-mile long course. To my left is Timothy. Little fist bump there. To my right is Ethan. And just past him are three guys, Danny, Joe, and Aaron, all on Canam Renegade 1000s, like myself. Ethan right here, he's on a Polaris Sportsman 400. And then to my left, Timothy, he brought the old Polaris Scrambler 1000. I'm excited to see that baby rip. I got a certain level of love and respect for the Polaris Scrambler. But I put my treasures into this baby right here. You're looking at a stock machine. Not much modifications other than what I had to on the steering stem. For those of you who have followed me, you know I've owned it for only a year. It's a 2021 Canam Renegade. And I threw in a, well, after my first race, I busted the steering stem off, so then I put in a new stock steering stem. And then I also stuck in the Cecco steering stem brace along with the Flexx handlebars. I raced one more race successfully, and then I broke my A-arm. But here we are in this race, getting ready to go. The line before us is taking off now. Woo, getting excited. And yes, this is a voiceover. This is not live, okay? Some people think that I'm doing commentary under my helmet, which I've thought about doing, and maybe I will in the future. But I'm watching this after the fact. But here we are, getting ready to take off. And personally, my goal is not to win the whole shot. Far from it. I'd rather hang to the left on this and follow up after. For one, I do not have a 24-volt starter, so my machine doesn't start as fast as some of the guys on this line. And also, look, we got a 2-hour race, okay? I don't need to risk running into those guys right now like I did the first race. You know, I'm here to learn. That's the most important thing. My whole goal in this was to get through it without crashing, which I succeeded at mostly. All right, here we go. And we're off, and it looks like Danny's taking the lead. Coming around the corner as Aaron takes him on the inside. Aaron is out front, Danny right behind him, and Joe right behind them, followed by Timothy. And at some point, Joe is gonna take the lead in this first lap, and he's gonna win the first lap. However, on Joe's second lap, he winds up blowing out his secondary clutch, and it literally blows through the plastic housing, almost taking out his foot. But luckily, as far as I know, he didn't get injured. But unfortunately, he had to drop out of the race for the second lap. All right. Now, this blacktop has me nervous because I don't have a lot of experience on blacktop that is wet and in this race. And so I picked up to about 50 mile an hour back there, but Aaron was telling me when he came across the road, he hit 70 mile an hour. So he was cruising. And meanwhile, Joe, Danny, Timothy were right on his tail as me and Ethan lagged behind. Now soon we're gonna hit the woods. I don't know what to expect. I've never been on this track before. All I know is that it's all downhill in this area. They must ski down this at the ski resort. Later on in the race, you'll see lifts that come up the hill for skiers. I don't know what kind of ruts I'm gonna run into, the whoops. Okay, here's the woods. And this gets really steep right here. And like I said before, my goal is to play it safe, to go as fast as I feasibly can with confidence, and not wreck my quad, not wreck my body. It's more important to me that I make it through the race. Now that right there was almost vertical. That's also a spot where AWRCS staff like to stand because it's a dangerous point. People come flying down that lane and they come dipping down into the woods, not realizing how steep it is, and endo. This is fun, guys. Hey, if you've never done this and you got a 4x4 quad, bring it out. You don't have to be a pro, you don't have to have experience. You can play it safe, but just come out. Well, I need more practice. Well, this is practice. Come on, baby. This is practice. All right. Now, I don't think I knew where to go right there. So once I realized, I sort of gunned it. Oh yeah, get a little mud in. All right, this first corner, this is why I want new tires. I couldn't turn like I wanted to. Boom, Ethan runs into me and he's stuck. He's stuck onto me. His front end, my rear end connected. Oh my goodness, I have to get off and push him off. I was like, doesn't he have 4-wheel drive? Now I seen his wheels turn a little bit on the front, but okay, all right, here we go. First few minute jitters and I can't even grab my key that got pulled out. Luckily I got reverse. And here I am stuck on a rock, literally stuck in between a rock and a hard place, which is quads behind me. Here we go. Finally. Go, son. You got time to make up. You know what? No matter what happens, though, you never know what's happening with other racers. And as you'll see, I didn't realize when I was putting my key in that Ethan had gotten past me. Now, watch closely up to your left. Who is that but Ethan? His quad is flipped on its side. Now, Ethan does wind up doing a lap. He does the first lap and then drops out. I think that something probably broke on his quad. So he wasn't able to finish, unfortunately. And I was not able to talk to him. I didn't see him afterwards to ask him about what happened. Hopefully he didn't get hurt either. Yeah, getting into it. Now there's a lot of logs that are across this track, which I find interesting. You know, I like the technical stuff. That's one reason why I love wood racing. However, as you're gonna see coming up, one of these logs is gonna take me off my bike. I will come off the bike along with my seat. Now, how that happens, I don't understand. How my seat popped off, I do not know. And when I come off, you're free to laugh because I make some funny grunting noises. And to this day, I don't know why I made so many noises. But I think it was my way of coping. Also, I think what happened was as soon as I lost grip on my handlebars, I think I accidentally shoved the throttle and I seen a tree directly ahead of me and I'm like, oh, here we go. As I'm throttling it and toppling over the bike at the same time. So I think that's part of the reason my instinct told me to bail. I think part of what you're seeing when I fall off is me bailing from the bike. Now, why my seat bailed from the bike, I do not know. But that's another modification that I see people do with these Canams, is they clip their seat to the machine. And that'll be coming up here in the not so distant future. Yeah, my front tires, it's time to replace them. By the way, this video was brought to you by Dan Schism, who gave me an insane deal on some Dirt Commander tires. No, just kidding. He did not sponsor this video, but he might as well. He gave me such a good deal on these tires that I'm getting ready to put on for next race. I'm really excited about it, man. The tread on these babies is so deep and they're brand new. Because there were times when I wanted to turn in this race. I think it's the nature of going downhill and turning, and you want to maintain your speed. I've been happy with the whole shot tires so far, but I think I could do better with some Dirt Commanders. Now that one, I clipped a tree or a stump or something and it sent me to the right. And it's moments like that where grip strength matters. Sometimes I liken riding this quad for 2 hours straight to taking a bull by the horns. And there are times where if you're not holding on tight, you'll get bucked right off. So grip strength matters. And after this race, my forearms were seizing up quite a bit. So I look forward to strengthening my forearms for these races. The more I do, the better I'll get, I suppose. Now, where is that ghastly log that's gonna take me out momentarily? It had been raining prior to this earlier in the day, which I enjoy. I'd rather not be dusted out. I'd rather play in the mud a little bit. A little bit of mud never hurt nobody. And as a matter of fact, it's brought a lot of people joy in this world. Mud has brought untold amounts of people joy, okay? So that's why we're here. We hope for mud, we pray for mud. And we got a little bit today, just a little bit. And it's better than nothing, so we're grateful. I'm thinking about tightening up my suspension too. I'm really kind of wobbling around a lot. And I think it would give me better control if I tightened up my suspension. So see, these modifications come with time. You know, I'm not in a real big rush to sink a lot of money into this thing right away. I'd rather give my brand new machine time to wear down and also see what's gonna break and see what I need to replace more than anything else. It's a priority thing. See, I wanted to take these corners so much faster. That's my one regret. And hey, I'm gonna blame it on tires right now, but it's a little bit of both. User and machine and equipment, modifications. Those guys were cruising. They were jockeying for position, so I decided to let them pass. That's the polite thing to do when they're going 5 to 10 miles per hour faster than you. There were two choices to make right there, a fork in the road, and throughout the race I do take both of them and they're about the same. I think this one on the left is better. It's more of a straight shot. I do apologize for my camera angle. I would like to have it up a little bit more, but I tried a new extension on my GoPro, and here we are. But you know, hey, at least you can see this beautiful machine. But the angle does get better in most parts of the video. Next time I'll get it adjusted a little bit better for you. I'm happy with the picture quality so far, though. Also, at this point in the race, my dead cats that I had put over the microphones, that's the furry things that keep some of the noise out, they've already been ripped off apparently. hearing a lot of wind resistance, but hey, I think it turned out okay. Where is that devastating obstacle that puts me in the air? I know it's close, very close.
Rocky.
Yes, the Rock Garden. The infamous Rock Gardens of Seven Springs that we keep hearing so much about. Okay, here it is, I think. Ready? That was ridiculous. Like I said, I still don't know exactly what happened there. Let's watch that again. That was so ridiculous. It kind of took my breath away. I mean, I'm breathing a little bit heavy at this point because falling off my bike was kind of exercise. I bumped my knees up. I've been limping around a little bit.
Bulldozing tree.
So ridiculous, man. So ridiculous. I just did a tear off. I got the tear off stacked on my goggles. I want to get the little rolly one. Again, priorities. That's a little more costly to find those goggles with the instant tear off that you can roll away. I really need some of those. By my third lap, I had burned up my tearaways. It did start to sprinkle a little bit. Of course, there's mud flinging around. So I'm trying to motivate myself because I wasn't supposed to crash. I'm not supposed to break anything. I'm supposed to be focusing on my riding skills, learning, getting a little faster, safely, and going as fast as I can, and not destroying myself or others. And so I'm trying to keep myself motivated to stay focused and not be stupid. Okay? At least for the first race of the season. And my third race ever. But I am having fun. Fun, number one, is happening. And I must say, I'm very proud of myself that I passed a few 450s that were legitimately racing. And it's not often that happens, because usually they're passing me because they're so gosh darn fast. If anybody were to ask me, well, how many of those 450s are there in this race, I would have to be like, judging by how many passed me, 50,000. I don't know. I capture here coming up eventually a guy on a 450 who is battling it out with another guy, and they come around a corner and he's trying to pass, and I think he rides up a tree or something and he flips back. I'll get that on camera. And then I'll splice it into this first lap because it happened on the second lap coming up. I'm gonna try another line. And I made it through, but I didn't gain a position. That guy just did. Now keep an eye on the two guys up ahead after I pass this guy. And he was all right, so I kept going. Yeah. So if you plan on coming out here next year, I hope this video gives you some idea of what to expect. A lot of downhill, a lot of whoops. Obviously the track changes sometimes as well. A lot of rocks. You want to make sure your tires are in order. Even though I came into this race with a gash in my front right tire and a slow leak. And I think because the tires are mostly new, I think that helped them make it through. I pumped them up tight to almost 8 PSI. And hoping that would allow me to bounce across the rocks better. And you know what? I made it through the race. Now, Timothy, unfortunately, after his second lap, he's gonna get a flat tire. So flat tires do occur. That's why people throw tire spines in, tire balls, tire blocks, tire jacked. You know, these things are used that way that it prevents you from getting flat tires. I have none of that. I have a gash in my tire. But I'm getting ready to replace my tires and probably do a comparison video on that as well. So please subscribe if you haven't already so that you don't miss the side-by-side review of the whole shot tires that come stock on this machine versus the GBC Dirt Commanders aftermarket that so many racers opt for. And when I do that, I'm gonna have to replace the rims on the back too because those come fatter than the front rims. So basically I'm gonna take whatever size the front rims are and I'm gonna put those on the back, and then I'm gonna have those aftermarket tires on there, and that'll allow me also not to get hung up on things in the back because my back tires aren't gonna be wider. So it may give me an advantage there, and I look forward to trying out, the difference on those on turns and different locations and through tighter spaces. So, somebody caught a tree. We got a steep uphill here. And I'll tell you right now, all these hills are steeper than what they look on the video. Especially the big featured hill that is coming up. That's a spectacle, and the spectators will be there to watch people come up this hill. Now, when you're standing at the top of that hill, it looks like it's almost vertical, okay? But when you're coming from the bottom, it doesn't look quite as scary for some reason. And I had never been to the top until the next day when I was watching the dirt bikes come up. And it wasn't until I saw it looking down where I'm like, oh my gosh, that is terrifying. But I did it, 4 times. And I didn't think anything of it. It's no wonder some people skip it. But of course, it's easy with my 4-wheel drive to get up it regardless. Just sort of give it full throttle nearly and climb right up it. I didn't throw it in low, kept it in high, kept my speed up. I'd like to give a shout out to Thumbgas. Thumbgas is the name of his channel, who left a comment under one of my videos and stated that I had motivated him to race his 4x4 quad after watching my channel. That blessed my soul, man. And it's one of the reasons that I love doing these videos. If I can motivate one person to get out there and live life, that makes it all worth it. Good on you, man. And hey, maybe one of these days, you and I will line up together and do a race. That would be awesome. And I encourage anyone who has a machine or is thinking about getting a machine or watches these videos and thinks, man, that is so cool, I encourage you to go out and do it. Find a race as close as you can to you. For me, I had to go a ways. You know, I came from Michigan, and on GPS it says 6.5 hours to get to most of these races. But with stops and things like that, it takes 9 or 10 hours. But you know what? It's worth it. And I'm really happy with Pennsylvania. I like the mountains. I like the terrain. I like AWRCS. I like the race they put on. I like the people. And so far, it's been a really good experience. And they've been really helpful. And the people around me, the people that come here, the culture, it's all good, man. So I like to promote them. But find a race near you, as close as you can, and check it out. Live life. I miss it. I miss it already. I am so excited about this racing season. I want to go back. I want to race again. It's been a few days now. My body's feeling healed up. Oh my gosh, I tell you what, if you're not in shape for this, you're gonna feel it all the way from in your back. Okay, all the way from your waist up to the back of your neck is gonna be sore. The muscles in your triceps are gonna be sore. Your deltoids, your rear deltoids, your quad muscles in your legs are gonna be cramping. Your forearms. After I was done with this race, and I'm in the shower, and I'm trying to clean, and my fingers are trying to seize up. Okay, seize together. And because of the muscles in my forearms are cramping after 4 laps of racing. You know, it's not a massive cardio. It's more of a muscle thing. It's a muscle specific thing. So some of these guys that do this are overweight. Okay, but they're good still and they're fast because they got muscle specific training from doing it. But don't let any of this scare you. If you've never done it, just come out. You can go at your own pace. My God, if it's that hard, you can stop after a few laps. But at least you tried. At least you did it. This is such a great place to be. You're surrounded by support. Look, there's the staff. There's the AWRCS staff watching out for you. There's an ambulance ready. What more could you ask for? You're gonna go trail riding with your buddies and you don't even have this level of support. Come out to AWRCS for a race. Pennsylvania has such good hills. They got mountains out here. Okay, I'm gonna climb off my soapbox and I'm gonna cut right to, speaking of mountains, the big hill, the spectacle of Seven Springs. As you can see, I'm out of the woods and it's starting to rain, so I just used one of my last tear-offs. As my vision was being impeded, I'm starting to see people. Whew. I see daylight. Where's this hill? I see it. Here it is. Here it comes. From the top, it's steep. It looks very scary, but I'm coming up, no problem. Here we go. Now my front end does come up a little bit. It's a good thing I didn't roll back. And when you come off the top of this, you are cruising. You have a lot of speed. And I think that's why this is so whooped out right here. You almost got to be careful because I was kind of all over the place. Yep, and I hit my, man, I was worried about my right A-arm this time because I felt it hit hard a couple times. And I'm thinking about upgrading those A-arms as well. Maybe get some Texterra Tech A-arms that are tougher. Now, any A-arm can break, but you gotta put those through more than what the stock ones are. We're coming up on the checkpoint. This is my first lap. There it is. And I'm gonna give you the results for this race. Here it comes, ready? So Danny got first place. Aaron got second place. and I wound up with 3rd place. Joe had to drop out after his first lap because his secondary clutch blew out and nearly took out his foot. And Timothy got a flat tire on his 3rd lap and had to drop out. Ethan, I'm not sure exactly what happened. He was out after the 1st lap. I know we saw him on his side back there, so something probably broke on his Sportsman 400. And here I am coming into the pits. There's 2 separate parking lots of pits, and I'm parked on the lower, and I'm about to approach my lovely wife, who comes down and helps me out and supports me, and I love her and I appreciate it. Here we go. Time to come in. How's it going, babe? I need a battery and some water. Okay. There's Marvin. He's telling me to push on, man. But I wanted to make a good video for you guys, so I had to get some battery. I had to get some water for my body. And I almost forgot to drink water. Here we go. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit like. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And please subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next videos that I got coming up. I got some fun ideas. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, see ya!